Today, we're having beats of reggae. What you know? We dip on it, you know? Oh, we're trying our best to reach out to you because we want to share some great educational material with you. We want to teach you how to do the beats of reggae music, Jamaican music. We want to teach you how to handle the business of music. And there are so many areas we have to deal with, you know? So today, I want you to sit back, relax, because we're going to have some great lecture presentations and interactive sessions. Today, we have Sangy Davis. Yes. We have Joy Fairclough. That's me. Yes. We have Mr. Aubrey Manning. Yes. We have Mr. Lloyd Obiadenton, who will be with us shortly. And we also have Miss Ramsey, who is coming from NCB, Senior Wealth Advisor. I tell you, we're going to have a great time. So let us just get going now, don't you think? Welcome, Mr. Sangy Davis.
First, I'd just like to ask everyone to stand, please. So, in all our going and coming, we like to start with a prayer. And I'd first like to greet everyone in the precious and divine name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who has been revealed to us in the personality of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. I also greet you the Orthodox faith, which is not one of rites nor rites, but a true function of the heart, a quiet, true mystical incorporation of unity in one with God. In plain words, to be born again. When you're born again, you put away the wrong and you take up the right. I further greet you the 12 tribes of Israel. It was lost and scattered, but was resurrected and founded in 1968 by our dear beloved Dr. Vernon Carrington. We call him the Prophet God. And last but not least, I greet you the Ethiopian royal family, the family of King David, family of King Solomon, represented in this time by our Crown Prince Zara Jacob, Aswasen Selassie. Greetings. So we begin by saying, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us that are saved it is the power of God. For that we will say, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy One of creation, as thou was in the beginning, is now and ever shall be, Jehovah without end, Selah. So we begin by saying our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. So let these words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah, our strength and our Redeemer, who liveth and reigneth in the hearts of all man, woman, and child. Blessed, give thanks, you may be seated. And I myself also is going to be seated. Blessed everyone again. Enough love, Well, to start off, we're going to start about songwriting. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to write a song. A song can come to you from many different areas. You can have in a shower, you can be just driving, can be walking. Sometimes you get it all in your sleep. You can all dream about a song. So a song really don't have, like, you have to be a great expert to write a song. Some songs really is just basic principles of songwriting. Is like you have a verse, you have a chorus, You have a bridge. That most songs are like that. Not every song. Has some song don't carry no bridge. Some song don't carry no chorus, but most songs have a verses. You know, because the verse is where you really tell the story of the song. From my part, it's like song is like it's spontaneous, as I said before. We can give you some examples. We talked already. Like when you're writing some songs, is your environments. Maybe your situation. Maybe you're hungry. Maybe your belly full. Maybe you want something, you know, and then it resonates with the thoughts, and then you just come up with the idea, and you write a song. It's not every song that you write is a hit song, because hit songs are not. Sometimes you can make it in terms of promotion and your marketing. You can promote a song, even if it's not a great song, but if it get proper promotion, that song, like for instance, when you make a song, give it to a man who on the radio, and if you play that song regular, sometime all in his subconscious, that song is playing. You just hear it till you might not like it in the beginning, because there's a lot of songs that I hear that I never like when I just hear it. But after it has been played couple of times, you find out, say, say that little song is nice, and you start to love the song, you know? So as I say now, it's like poetry. A song is really lyrics and melody. The accompaniment is slightly different, because you can have lyrics and melody and you can give 10 producers and then produce it 10 different ways. You know? One thing they're not going to get rid of is the key. If you sing the song in that key, most time, even if the producer produces it, him still going to use that. Maybe not the formation, because musicians great, them can change around things. Like we in Jamaica, for instance, we can take a man song, we have 7, 8 cards, and we just play 2 cards. Just take two cards and make that song. But if you hear the original song, it have more than 2, 3 cards. You know? So that's the thing about songwriting. Because songwriting is different from the musical accompaniment. Songwriting is really lyrics and melody. That is really a song. The production of the song now, as I said before, can be different. Other different producers produce it in different ways. Some produce it as a classic, some might produce it as a pop, some produce it as a lamento, some like a calypso, and some like when them talk nowadays, them call it dancehall. I don't really know that genre in terms of the word dancehall, because when I was coming at dancehall, it's really a place, not a music. So, but no problem, because people is eating and drinking off it. So if it makes you happy to do it in that style, no problem. But the basic thing about a songwriting is like you're a painter, you're painting a picture, but you're using words and music to paint that picture. So as I always say, it's like you're writing a video. You're singing a video. That means whenever time you're singing, somebody must can picture what you're singing, not just hearing it, but can make a picture of what you're singing. So basically, not a lot of things about the actual writing of the song. The most important thing about the song is the protection of the song after you write the song. When you write the song now, so what's the next step? One of the other step is that I just start to perform it before you register it, which is not a good idea. That is a no really. You're not supposed to do that, because when you write the song from the inception, you're supposed to start to think about the protection. So basically, that is songwriting is to protect your intellectual property. That's what they call it. Because you're a creative person, so you create the songs, and then now that is where the Library of Congress or any local society who protects people creativity, you get yourself licensed with that. That so now you can now start to market the song so that you can get some financial reward from the song. Because I don't think a person make a song and don't want to earn from it. Most people who write songs want to earn from the song. Sometimes you can write a song and you are not the singer. Sometimes you can write a song and it's best to give somebody else to sing it because that person might have a better voice, a better way to deliver it than even you who write the song. So when you write a song, it really is not yours, yours in terms of the financial reward, but it's not yours in terms of what is the potential of the song. Because if people don't like it and buy it, you could have write it a little more. It not going anywhere. Because nobody don't like it. It not solve nobody's soul. It not solve nobody's problem. You know? So basically, when you're trying to write a song, from my part, it's more you want to save souls. And I think that's the greatest thing that anyone can do. Try to save another soul by what you put out. You know? You can write song just for happiness. But from my point, as I said before, I like to write songs that is more soul searching, more from a righteous angle. I don't want to write song that is not having a righteousness about it because the inspiration come from the Almighty. So why not give him the credit? Well, you can take the cash, but you must give him the credit. You understand? So what you do is try to write a song that you can soothe people. Sometimes, especially in a love relationship, if you find out most time a love song even get more popular than another type of song because it deal with your emotions, you know what I mean? So most people like to write a love song about this girl or about this guy, and if it's a woman, well. So so it's really trying to win souls, even if it's in a relationship or it's in life. Like, for instance, if you talk about a Bob Marley, because every time we talk about music from a Jamaican perspective, you have to talk about Bob Marley. If you don't talk about Bob Marley, it's like talk about music. But Bob Marley alone in itself as a entity could not reach that heights if you never have somebody to promote the songs. It go right back to, as I said before, you can write the song, but how do you get this song out or you promote this song, you know what I mean? And the promotion is more expensive than the production. Because if you spend $1 million to produce a song, it's going to take about 3 million to promote it. Because it take more to promote it than to produce it. Because after you produce it, you only have a product. But when you do this product, put it on the bed. If you put it on the bed, that means you light a candle. But who's a foolish man who light a candle and put it on the bed? That means you burn down the house. Understand? So that is the thing about music and about production. When you light the candle or when you light the music, it have to go out. It have to go out in the ear, whether by video or whether by audio or video. But the intention is to write a song and make people hear it. Because the most sweetest thing is when you write a song and, and everybody love it. I mean, the satisfaction that you get from that is like, it's better than food and clothes. Because it's a beauty to me if you know some writer song and you know me I sing it. And somebody else sing it. I'll be stood up and listen to it. It's like it do a little thing. If you don't mind sharp, it make you feel like you're not human. And it make you feel like you're great. But you must feel like you're great because the greatness is not in you. The greatness is on the inspiration, which is the Almighty God. So in my thinking or my thought about music is that you give God the praise before you start taking it for yourself. As we say, take the cash but give him the credit. 'Cause if you not do that, you know problem. So, but as I say, I'm gonna say it already. I'm gonna say it again. It's like most time when I'm talking about songwriting, it's the same thing I talk all the while. Give thanks, to record because I do have to talk it so much again because it is being recorded. But most times it's the same story. It's not a new story. It's the same thing happen. Because it's the same. It's one principle. Music, words, and melody. That's the one principle. That's the thing about a song. What about a man who may play a song, but him do have him words, but him have melody, like a saxophonist or a keyboard player. Him play a song, it not a word, but it have melody. And when you hear that melody, that is the melody that make you love the song. It's like when I was small, I hear about the Pied Piper of Hamelin. I don't know if anybody ever heard about that person, but that's the person that inspired me when I was very young. I hear the story and that story just grabbed me. And say this man get up one morning and just start to play, and the whole town start to follow him. People them go work. From them come out and hear the music, all who go work just can't work. This song that him playing, this melody, touch the heart and soul. Like if all some of the psalms, you could have put melody to some of them psalms there. The words and you put a melody to it. It's like maybe the world will have changed because it's righteousness. And regardless of what we do, we have to think about righteousness. That is the foundation of even our liberty. All of us come through righteousness. Because God made the world before he made man. If you read the Bible, or if you're a Bible student, or if you love the Bible, you find out that in the beginning was a word, which is music. And the word took on flesh and dwelt among man. But if you notice, the Bible show that God created everything before he make man. He make fish, he make water, he make everything, mango, aki, everything. So when man born, every man born come see a furnished earth, don't it? I don't know which man make breadfruit. Cause I know every man when him born, him come see breadfruit or him come see a furnished world, as we say. So if you come see a furnished world, why not deal in righteousness for enjoy? Cause that's what man is born for. Man never born for die. When God created man, him never make man to die. It's because of disobedience that man die. Because him tell you, say, don't do that. It's like when you're small and your mother and your father tell you, say, you see that drawer there? You can go in all the drawer them, but you see that drawer there? Don't go in it. Me have my things them inside it. Me don't want nobody trouble it. And as soon as your mother and your father turn them back, that is the drawer that you want to see because you get curious. It is the same thing happen to creation. When God create man and put them in the garden, him say, don't do that. Don't do that. Do everything else, but just don't do that. And man in him curiosity, them say Eve and apple and all them things there. Man, no problem. The idea is not about the apple or about Eve. The idea is about disobedience. You don't obey what the creator tell you. So if the creator make you and tell you don't do that, why don't obey him? So it is the same thing applied to music. In my thoughts, it's like when you make a song, you don't like everybody listen to that song. You don't like them believe in what I say. So why not write a song about righteousness? You know? So basically, I really have nothing more to say now is that I would just wish that everyone could write a song. Because it's a beauty. The real beauty to write a song and to hear it, even if you want to sing it yourself, but to hear somebody sing it, I think that is even more satisfactory than just you singing it. Because you did done write it and you are your own already. So even if somebody sing it, it's still your own. So it's nice and somebody else can sing what you write. That's my sneeze. So I really have not much more to say, you know. So if anyone want to ask any question now, then I in my little vocabulary, I just answer it to yeah. Give time.
I am CC Woods, a gospel artist, and I have written 2 songs so far. And I really appreciate you mentioning that when you write a song, it's great to give God the credit and you take the cash. Because that's the approach that I have been taking, giving God a lot of credit for the 2 songs that I have written so far. But you also mentioned that when you have written a song, am I correct? When you have written a song, before you even enter the studio, it's best to copyright the lyrics first. Why must we take that approach?
Is to protect your intellectual property. In other words, when you write a song, you're a creator. So you create something new. Protect it. Or else if you don't do that and somebody hear it and record it, before you record it, they it can be very complicated. So it's best to protect your song before you start going to the public with the song. about in your exuberance, you want people to hear say write the song. So you're quick to say, listen to this man. We just write that song and hear this. So when him listen to it, if him is not an honest person, him can always take that song, maybe go to Australia, go record it, or somewhere else and record it, and then know you think it's your own. So it's best for you to protect whatever creativity, not just a song, but if he's a painter and you paint a picture, it's best for you to copyright that picture also. Picture copyright, because it's owning creativity. That is what the whole thing about, owning your creative. Them call it IP, intellectual property, Yeah.
Greetings. I'm Errol Bean of Bean 3 Music. You mentioned that a song has words, music, and melody. What is the difference between music, if there is, between music and melody? That's one. And also, for your process, do you write words or you always write words and melody together? So let me repeat the difference between music and melody, if there is a difference. And for you, your process, do you always write words separately or the melody comes or both of them happen the same time? Thank you.
Well, first of all, music and melody is music. That is not really words and music and melody. It's not really like that. If you're talking about the arrangement, that's a different thing from the melody or from the words. So the song is words and melody. That is the song. As I said before, that is the song. The accompaniment, which you would call the music, that is, I think that is what you tell when you tell. Because the melody is music, the melody is the music. But if you're talking about the accompaniment, like you record the song, in other words, you can write a song and do have any accompaniment. All it have is just some chords, and you have the melody and the lyrics. So to get an accompaniment now, like you'd have to get musicians now, or if you can play it and play the arrangement, that's a different thing. So melody and music is the same. It's not anything different, but arrangement of melody is different because, as I said before, you can have a song, a melody, and a lyrics, and if you get 10 producers, them can produce it in 10 different styles, different way. That is what you call accompaniment. Same can accompany it like a calypso. You can write the song, you never write it as a calypso, but when him hear it as a calypso. I'm carrying it as a jazz. I'm carrying it as a pop. Whatever genre you want to put the music in. So I'm going to accompany it in the genre that him see to put it into. That is one. Secondly, from my perspective, a song come in many different ways. If you notice nowadays, a man give a rhythm until you say, you want to sing a song on a rhythm there. So him give a rhythm, which I think is the easiest thing to do, because the rhythm don't make already. So it's like you have a guidance of what you can put on it, because the rhythm don't make. That's why I know most people make a rhythm until they say make a song. You really don't make a song. You make a rhythm. You're going to have to put a song on that rhythm. As I stated before, I do a rhythm there, and it's 13 different people I put on the rhythm with 13 different songs on the same rhythm. And that's what's great about Jamaicans again. Come I forget Jamaican. Big up Jamaica there, please. Give me a little one clap. Yeah. And this reggae music, because this reggae music, I may tell you, this reggae music is music for the king, is music to take us out of our poverty. This reggae music come to take us out of our poverty because it's mostly ghetto people or the people who is less fortunate. It's them create this music named reggae music. And everybody know it gone all over the world. So this music is really an elevation for us to take ourselves out of all kind of different type of life. So it can put you on a level, you know? Can go buy your house and your BMW and your Benz and all them things there. So to write so a song come in various ways. As I explained before, sometimes while you sleep, you get a song. You just go to bed and you dream a melody. The thing is now is to remember the melody. Most great people who can write music, They might get up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock after the gym and just get a paper right away and write it down because most of us who do have that formal training about music, we have to rely upon our memory. And sometimes you write a song and when you wake up the next day, you don't remember nothing about it. It's gone. So to answer the question is that it don't have a specific way to write a song. You can hear a melody and you put lyrics to it, and you can have lyrics and put melody to it. Bless.
Good day, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jay Presto. I'm a dancehall artist and an audio engineer. So I have a question here. How can a songwriter tap into their spiritual side to write more meaningful songs?
A question from, because I only can tell about my perspective, right? I don't have I'm not the what? The authority and music. What I can just give from my perspective, and I believe that the Bible is the greatest book in the world. And I believe that if you pay attention more to the Bible and read it like a chapter per day, which is my principle, you don't have to read it that way, But I think if you read the Bible more, I think then that will come out of you. What you take in is what comes out. So if you read the Bible a lot, then the spiritual part of your life will get. And after you read to, you have to pray for the understanding because you can read, but it's the understanding. So when you're done read, you're going to have to go do some prayer. Trust me, it is wiser to pray for the understanding of what you read. Because 10 we can read the Bible and come out with 10 different perspectives of what to read. So you have to pray for understanding. Because that's the greatest gift that a man can get. Remember? That's why I have to go to the Bible. When God asked Solomon what him want, Solomon never tell him same want riches. Never tell him say want a lot of girls. Never tell him say want a car or a house. Him say he want to get understanding that him can rule. So if you don't have understanding, even in music, if you don't understand what you're doing, you can't play music. Music is all about understanding. The same thing, you apply that to life in generally, especially to songwriting. So what you take in, that's what goes out. So it's best to take in the scriptures if you want to talk about godly things. Because the Bible, I just write that song to. Funnily, you should have asked a question like that. Not even 3 days ago, I write the song. The Bible is the rallying point of all mankind. Because His Majesty, through me see about a little nuts, I have to tell you about His Majesty. His Majesty make a speech from the Bible. His Majesty say, regardless of what nation, kindred, or tongue, the words remain one and the same. Him say, from early childhood, I've taught to appreciate the Bible and its great message. Him say, it is eternal. It transcends all boundaries of empires and all conception of race. So if you want to get spiritual, go in on the Bible, my brethren. If you hear somebody attack or some things, no pay it no mind. Even if it's not true, but what the Bible suggests to you is that do good. That is the main theme of the Bible. You do good, worship God, and live. So anything you're doing, if you put God first, everything all right. Bless. So before we go, let us like for express to them say, give thanks that we all are here and we all want to share one another. What life has taught me, I'd like to share with those who want to learn. Blessed. Give thanks. So when we leave here, just pray for one another that we can. And we are no more strangers. If we were stranger first, after this, we're not supposed to be no stranger again. Can't stranger no more. We've been stranger too long. So it's time now we stop put the burden upon them and take some for ourselves and try to live as best as we can with each other. Enough love, yeah? Yeah, man. Yeah, man, good time. Right, Prince? I see.
Wow, wasn't that inspirational? Whoa, man, I just love Mr. Sangy Davis, man. May I tell you, it really, really just give it to you as it really should be. And we just thank him so much. We thank him and we thank God for him. We're moving to another presenter. This gentleman has done so many great things with his drum set. From he was a child, I'ma play drum. He has toured the whole world. I don't know where him don't go. Just like Mr. Sangi Davis. I don't know where these people don't travel and go to already. They know so many people. They know so many lands. And it's the message of love and peace and the love of God. So hear what now? We're going to hear from Mr. Aubrey Manning. We call him Prince Manning because to me and to us here, he's a prince of God himself. So guess what? Give him a round of applause as he comes to teach us. All right.
Yes, good morning again, everyone. Yes, as Miss Clearcroft says, I'm the king's son. My name is Prince, them call me. So I give thanks to the Most High for that. All right. Drumming, Jamaica, in Jamaica. Um, our drums coming from out of Africa. Our foreparent, carry some beat from Africa come into Jamaica with them, right? So them have all different kind of name for them. Some people call them Poco, some call it Kumina, some call it all different kind of name. Out of that come all of our drumming. We have ska, have rocksteady, we get reggae music, and we have this other one, as I said, Kumina. So from that, we build from there, come up. You understand? I don't have a lot to say about the drumming now, but I will explain to you people that you can understand. This is part of the thing that come from Africa. That is Kumina, the Kumina beat, and we take that and build on that. Studio One, Coxon used to bring in the music and give Alton Ellis and Babandi and whosoever it was, and they developed the thing from that. Ernie Ranglin was one of the musical arranger run by Studio One. So whenever Coxon come in with the music and bring it to the artist, Ernie Ranglin arrange and change the music from there. Now, out of the Kumina, they do the ska. Ska come and they play it. Right? And from there, they develop and change the thing. When they change it again, we go back to Ernie Ranglin. That's what I heard from musician that was playing at Studio One. No. Yeah, so as I was saying, our music come from out of Africa, and it come with this thing where them call Poco. Most people don't like it, but it's our music, so we mustn't afraid of it, right? And them have that kind of thing is out of Africa it come from, and Africa is all of us here. So we move from there, and them do the ska. The ska is a mixed thing from out of America and our communal thing. You understand? So that play like this. that is ska. Simmer down and all of that is ska. Right. So now we move from ska and we go to rock steady, which come out of ska. The drum beat, as I said, change from this, and it play a little slower. Yeah? It's the same thing, but it's slow down. That's rock steady. Alton Ellis and Bob Andy, as I say, and a couple other people sing on that. And then it moved from there to reggae. This is a one drop reggae. And this is an open snare reggae. That's how we play reggae music. The drumming for reggae music. So as I was saying, is the music is the drumming is coming from out of Africa for our thing. Yes. So that's all I have to say right now.
Okay, sir. My name is Jay Presto, a dancehall artist and audio engineer. I would like to know at what tempo BPM is the perfect setting to create a danceable song? Yes, a movable. Yeah.
All right. For a danceable song, we can have many different BPM for a danceable song. Just like if you're playing like just the reggae one drop, it's between 50 and 60, 70 BPM for one drop. If it's one drop, if it's reggae music, and if it's dancehall, you go up to 100 or more. You understand? Depends on what you call dancing, because now to how the things stay is a different kind of thing we see go on sometime. You understand? So you have to just know what kind of feel you want. That first come out of you, the BPM. And you have to just consider the speed and how you feel with that, if you can dance from it. And the dancer, from the 80s, the 80s coming up, the dancehall was like this. That's still coming out of Africa, the commoner thing. You understand? And then it changed, like in the 80s, like 84, it changes. Them kind of thing, So depends on the feel you want.
Greetings, I'm Simeon Simbo. Yes, songwriter, executive producer. Look, well, I dabble in music all over. My question to you as someone who travel all over, which of the genre you think is the most effective in terms of impacting people in the wider world? And you think we should go back, revisit the past, or continue the trend that the music is taking now?
Well, to me, our music, reggae music, is the greatest music ever. That nowhere in the world you go. If you go up in the sky, them go on the moon now, them say. And if you go up there, you go hear reggae music a play. Serious thing. Our music is the greatest music on earth. And what the next part of the question you have there? If we should go back to
We should continue and the present trend, or we should revisit.
well, the music have to grow, The music have to grow. Right. So now I wouldn't say go back to the thing, but keep the discipline of the music. Keep the discipline and we're good. You understand? Just as I was saying before to the next virgin, some things now we don't accept certain things, but we don't bash them. You understand? Yeah, we keep the roots. I know you see some things that you don't like to, Right. So we try to keep the discipline within you. As Mr. Davis was saying, the Most High is great. So keep him close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, speaker, it's me again. When an artist is recording a song, what element of the drum should they follow to stay in rhythm and on beat?
Some people listen to different things when they are doing music. A man might listen to a keyboard phrase, and a man might listen to a guitar pick or a melody from a guitar or the bass. You don't have to really listen to the drum, but to keep on timing is a good thing. You have to be keeping on timing. So if we're playing like 2, 3, 4, you have to be singing on that in that timing and the tempo or the BPM as you call it, right? So if I'm playing like you might find something from that to stay on timing. I can't tell you must stay on the kick drum or the hi-hat or the snare. You understand? Depends on how you feel. Because you have other nation from we. Them dance different. Them count the music different. We count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You understand? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Them gone 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand? Them put the beat on the third where them count. You understand? We count it different from them. So depends on how a man feel, how he can do it. Thank you.
Hello. Yes. Man, we tell you, that presentation showing us the roots of our sound was so wonderful. Thanks to Mr. Aubrey Prince Manning. You know, sir, some of you are going to try out what he played, I'm sure some of you are going to try it. And we encourage you to try it. Practice makes perfect. You saw him playing those rhythms of dance hall. Yes. And you saw him playing some of the reggae, roots rock, and some of those stepper rhythms. Yes, man. You should try it out. Try out those rhythms of Jamaica. And now we have a specially invited presenter on Beats of Reggae Workshop 2026. She comes from the National Commercial Bank of Jamaica, and her post or position is Senior Wealth Advisor. She's going to help us to make the connections with our trade in music using our publishing or licensing negotiations, and we're going to link it with how we save and invest after we create some income. So, we want to welcome Miss Kathy Lee Ramsey. Everybody give her a hand. And you're going to just be enthralled. Sit back and relax. Here we go.
All right. So again, I am Kathy Lee Ramsey, a senior wealth advisor with NCB Capital Markets. So I'm not sure if anyone here knows, but NCB Capital Markets is the investment arm of the NCB Group, right? So we're a little bit separated from the bank in regards to the bank would give you more savings and loans. Here we're speaking of you get some income and we're gonna make money on that money, right? Okay. Does anyone here have investment accounts? No. You have investment accounts? Okay. All right. So, like I said, we have several different classes of investments, right? So there's actually 4 different classes of investments, and we'll go through them in the latter parts of the presentation. No, I did say this earlier. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, right? And I want us to think about that because now you get your income. And one of the things that you can do is, like I said, invest it. So you're making money on your money, right? And we'll go through several different products that will show you how you can make money, right? So because we don't have the screen, I'll just kind of just speak about what is on the presentation, right? So let's take, for instance, $1 million. So you came to NCB and you said, hey, I have $1 million to invest, right? At different rates of return, the graph actually shows you what it would be over 40 years. So at a rate of return, if you were to just invest that 1 million and leave it, right? At a rate of return of 5.4% in 40 years' time, it would be 8.196 million, right? Just to show you the power of money. If you were to leave it for 40 years at 9.4%, you'd be looking at 36 million. Just that 1 million, that's not you adding to it. It's just that 1 million. If you were to just put it in a investment and leave it for 40 years at 10.4%, it's 52 million. And if you were to leave it for 40 years at 11.4%, it's 75 million, right? Just to show you the power of money and the power of actually investing today so that you can benefit, whether it's your future or your grandchildren or your children, right? I'll go on to saying that the great Warren Buffett. Anybody knows about Warren Buffett? Heard about him? Right. So he says to invest successfully over a lifetime does not require a stratospheric IQ, unusual business insight, or inside information. What's needed is a sound intellectual framework for making decisions and the ability to keep emotion from corroding that framework, right? And so what he's pretty much saying is, for instance, if you were to invest in a stock market, the stock market fluctuates a lot, right? Now, if you were to invest in a stock and in 2 years' time that stock plummets, but you remember your goal was to invest in this stock for 10 years, right? 2 years' time, the stock might go down. The stock market is a very volatile market, right? So if in 2 years' time, but your goal was 10 years, keep in mind that goal is 10 years. In 2 years' time, the stock goes down. Emotional, you might say, boy, I want to take my money, right? But if you were to actually hold it steady for the long term, it might go back up. And that's really how stocks work, which I'll go into that, all right? So one of our segments that we have is unit trust, right, at NCB Capital Markets. And what is a unit trust? So a unit trust is a collective investment vehicle managed under trust deed. So pretty much it's a pool investment vehicle, right, which allows investors to access diversified portfolios, whether it be money market, stocks, bonds, or real estate. If you need me to break it down, just let me know or raise a hand. I'm welcome to questions as well, right? So that's our basic unit trust. The next one is stocks, which I spoke about. This is more of aggressive. When you're buying a stock, it's more of aggressive, again, because of the volatility and how it can fluctuate, right? So we'll say equities as well as another term. So equities offer highest expected rate of return in all the asset classes, right? So equities offer potential for unlimited capital gains. So for instance, think of a company that you probably use a lot. If it's listed on the stock exchange, that's something that you might want to buy into because you're like, I'm using them a lot. So for instance, Grace Kennedy, it's one of our blue chip stocks. I think everybody probably uses something from Grace. That's the truth. And so why not invest or buy a part of that company? As I said, it's a blue chip. What does blue chip mean? It's a company that is it can probably go through the worst of times. So like a COVID-19. You'd think that maybe companies got affected. Yes, they did. Did Grace get affected as much? No, not as much as you would think because it's still a commodity. People are still going to buy Grace products, right? I think they've leveraged the company so well that you will rely on them. So that's why we would call it a blue chip stock. So as I said, a stock allows you to own a stake in an established company, right? So you own a piece of it. And I'm going to go back to Grace. You'd own a piece of it, right? To actually invest at NCB Capital Markets, if you wanted to buy into stocks, it's a minimum of $25,000. Okay. So that's one of the things. This is suitable for moderate to high risk tolerance clients, again, because of how volatile it is, right? And it's for someone who wants capital appreciation and more for the long term, right? Because again, if you have that goal in mind of 10 years, you will see volatility. And I'm very, very careful when I speak to clients about stocks because it is the most volatile, right? And I don't want you to put all your money in it. So we speak about diversification as well and how important it is. You know that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It stands when you're building out your portfolio as well. You don't want to put all your money in stocks. You want to maybe put it in some unit trusts. And at NCB Capital Markets, we're really big on diversification. So one of the first things that we do when you're opening an account is to actually give you a risk profile. It's something that you would actually do it on WhatsApp. It's a bot. So AI comes in handy here, right? So it's a bot. We actually assess how is it that you, based on the answers, how we think that you should invest. And we create a portfolio for you. So it allows you, the investor, and myself to be guided, right? And so we can guide you along. So when I'm making the recommendation, you're like, Kathy, do I trust you? I'm like, go back to the risk profile, right? All right. So the next asset class is bonds. Does anybody in here know what a bond is? Yeah? All right. So a bond is a debt instrument that provides a periodic stream of interest payments to investors while repaying the principal sum on a specified maturity date, right? So it's pretty much, we can use Grace for, again, right? So Grace says, hey, we want you to lend us some money and we're repaying you, right? And they will tell you, we're repaying you at 8%, 9% over the next year. You get coupon, that's called the coupon payment. You would get coupon payments. Normally bonds come in coupon payments of semi-annually, and you do have some, especially on the local market, that gives you income stream quarterly. So if you want income, bond is great. There is government bonds and there is corporate bonds. So you could buy Government of Jamaica bonds as well. The Government of Jamaica bonds are one of the most highly rated bonds. They're highly sought after. So it says something about our country, right? And then we have money market securities. So money market is more of the conservative side. Hey, Kathy, I have some money I want to put down, but I don't want it to be very volatile. So this money is for liquidity. It's conservative. You can probably touch it in the next short term, right? So short term, 1 to 2 years. Say you can call me and say, I need to put some money down, but I need it for 6 months. We're going to make your portfolio more skewed towards money markets. It's low risk. As I said, liquidity if you need, right? And we have alternative investments. So this would be more of like real estate, private equity, private debt, structured products that we offer as well, right? And this is just everything that we have to build out the portfolio. Is there any questions so far? Afterwards. Okay. Oh, okay. After, okay. All right. So I wanted to speak about the different products that we have in the unit trust. So we have our money market fund. You're looking, again, liquidity. So remember, money market is liquidity. It's conservative, right? The risk tolerance is very low on this investment. You're looking at about 5.9% over the next year, right? So what is performed in the last 12 months is 5.9%. Again, you might say, but I don't know a whole heap. Yeah, but compare it to like a savings account. And the average Jamaican actually puts money in their savings account. And yeah, it's there for liquidity purposes, but you could actually put it on something more in investments, and you can still have, really conservative, very low risk, and be getting more money, because a savings account you're getting 0.000, right? And not to knock savings accounts, it's just they're there for very short term savings, not more of a I'm gonna have my money here for a year, you could be getting money on your money. Or equity fund as well is a fund that is comprised of several stocks, and again we have our fund managers that actually take into effect. The estimated yearly yield for that is 8.3%. So this is good for the average person that says, okay, I want to invest in stocks, but I don't know which stock to buy into. Great. We have our equity fund, 8.9%. Not bad, yeah, because Kathy, I can't bother wake up and look at the stock today and see how much it worth. That's just not me. Okay, put the funds in the equity fund. We can put some money in there and you can watch it grow, and you know that we have the fund managers have your back. We're going to make sure that not me. The fund managers, I'm not a fund manager, but we have a team of fund managers that they are every day working on the portfolio, the stocks that are under that portfolio. We have our income optimizer fund, which is more of a moderate risk. You're looking at 7% over the next year. With this, it's medium to long-term fixed income, corporate assets, loans, and preference shares. So it's a moderate approach. Like I said, it's 6.9%, right, over the next year that we're thinking of. And then one of the things that I want to speak about is with this, you have to lock away the funds for 6 months, right? So remember, we're building out the portfolio. So we put some money in money market, we put some money in the equity fund, and we put some money in the IO fund. We know that at least 6 months which is the income optimizer, sorry. At least 6 months you're not touching these funds, all right? So you come to me and you say, Kathy, I have some US dollars. And I'm like, okay, what's your objective for these US dollars? Boy, I just have some US dollars. I don't need to touch it for the next 2-3 months. But it was just sitting on my savings account. All right. Well, we can put it on our XM fund. You're looking at 3% on US. Again, this is great because you told me you don't need to touch it for the next 3 months. So in 3 months' time, your money is there. It's very, very liquid. It's very conservative. So that means there's no risk in it. At least you're getting up to 3% if you were to leave it for the year, right, on it. We have our bond fund as well, which you're looking at 4%. This is, again, US dollar denominated. And it pretty much creates a portfolio of bonds. So you don't have, Kathy, I don't want to buy out a specific bond per se. Okay, great. All you need to do, you can start it with $100 and you can go into our bond fund and you can get some access to bonds. The real estate fund that we have is our moderate investment, another moderate investment. So the real estate fund, what is it? So anybody here owns real estate? Okay, you might want to own some real estate and can't necessarily buy per se the actual property. Well, great. We have a real estate fund that gives you a great return. We're looking at 18%, right? It's a moderate portfolio. It's all NCB Financial Group properties that are under that portfolio. As of right now, it's all of our commercial properties, right? I know you hear the 18%. It's like, wow, I haven't said anything that has returned that much, right? But again, it's real estate. It's highly sought after, especially commercial real estate, right? So the return is going to be higher. Now, the time span for this is 3 years at minimum, because if you pull the funds before that 3 years, there's a penalty. So it has to be 3 years at minimum, but 18% year over year would be great, no? So that's our real estate fund. No, I know that you wanted to say questions after. So I know I went through a lot. It's an intimate setting and I just want to kind of, see if you have any questions or anything of the sort.
Right. I have the first question for Miss Ramsey because her presentation was so great. Miss Ramsey, just like they had the Hurricane Melissa Bond for Jamaica set up and it did wonders for us. Can something like that be set up for the creative sector or industry of Jamaica?
All right. So, the Melissa bond, it was formulated by the government, right? So we have government bonds. So that was separate and apart. So that's different. That's completely different. That bond was completely different, right? And that was thought of by Nigel Clark and what he did with the government, right? So that's separate and apart. So the bonds that we offer, right, is government or corporate bonds. So unfortunately, we don't offer those. Do I think it's possible? Maybe the government could have something of that sort. Yeah, but definitely not through NCB capital markets. Yeah. All right.
Yes. How can any of the investments that you have mentioned help to fight against inflation?
All right. So based on a portfolio standpoint, actually when we're doing the portfolio, I recommend a portfolio review. So we'll build a portfolio out today, right? So you're going to come to me today. We build a portfolio out today based on how we allocate. Those products should definitely stand against inflation. Remember, so we're not putting all your eggs in one basket. We're separating it. Based on the performance, it actually should, right? If we were to take into consideration, maybe for you, maybe you're a moderate investor, right? You could probably put more money into the real estate fund and then a little bit into some stocks, because we can buy stocks outright as well, and then put maybe some for savings, liquidity. And so based on how we actually, the amount that we put in, the percentage, right, it should actually go against inflation. You should be making way more money than that, right?
Yes, let me begin by saying thanks, Kathy, for taking time out to educate us today. My question is, it sounds attractive to earn 40 million or 50 million over a 40-year period. What is the medium and long term? No, the long term is the money, but what is the short and medium term benefit along the line? Because and then I just want to, I know it is good because I have this gentleman that I know, big businessman. And he told me that at one stage in his business, he sort of strapped for cash, even though he's a billionaire or millionaire. And he go to the bank, and there was a little savings that he have there, a little account that he had opened. At the time, I think it was $5,000, he said. And he never remembered anything about it. Unfortunately, he said that he was able to pull down over 100,000 at the time to back up some of the other monies that he have to do what he wanted to do. But not to detour from the question I asked, because I really want to know. Thank you.
All right. So you're most welcome. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have these conversations. I love these intimate settings. So don't we all love to forget some money and find it back later? Right? So it's great when you forget it, and you forget it in an investment and you're just gaining money, right? And I want to point out, right, that I say it all the time. It's not what you make, it's how you spend, right? Because you can have somebody that's making 11 million a month, and when you look at their expenses, what can they really save? And they can't, depending on how their expenses are. So you could have somebody who actually makes 200,000 a month. That is actually saving more than that same person. So it's not what you make, it's how you spend. So now let's get back into it, because there is a graph here. So you're right to ask, right? 40 years might be a long time. So let's break it down into 10 years, right? So 10 years at 11.4%, right? Because that's a decent, it's a little bit when you hear the real estate fund performance and you hear, based on how we map out the portfolio, you can actually make 11.4% on your entire portfolio over the year. So over 10 years, that would be 2.943, right? And I'll give you this because I see some people have your notebook out and it's easy to calculate. So it's the future value of money. So future value is your wealth in the future, right? So future value equals, and you can actually Google it, and they actually have calculators that you can actually input the amount, right? Your present equals, so future value equals your present value. So that's the money today, right? In brackets, we have plus, so 1 plus your total rate of return, which is what you expect to get, right? And then close the brackets, and at the exponential point, the time. But it's really easy. If you don't, you can always Google future value calculator. You can actually input the money. So you can say, I plan to invest X amount over the next 5 years at 5% or 10%. And it would actually show you what the future value is of your money. Yeah. And you can even, some of the calculators online on Google, you can actually say, okay, but I'm going to add 10,000 a month, or I'm going to add 15,000 a month. And based on that input, it will tell you what it is then. When you add that money, what it would be over the next year, over the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whichever it is that you need to know. Yeah.
Hi, greetings. My name is Kai. I actually have a couple questions. The first one is about the real estate fund. Is the rate of return guaranteed? Because I was thinking that if it's guaranteed, why not just, put all your money in what has the highest rate of return? And I just wanted some details as to how it works. What's the structure of it? What real estate is invested in? Is it ones that are bought and sold by the bank? So that's my first question. The second question was about whether or not you feature like digital investments like Bitcoin or meme coin and that kind of thing in your various units. Okay, thank you.
All right. So the real estate fund is not guaranteed. In fact, none of the investments that we have here is guaranteed, right? So they are all based on past performance, and we can use that to try and predict the future, right? We have fund managers who are working, and that's their primary job. My job is to present, to advise. Their job is to deal with the funds. So they are every day working on that. So no, it's not guaranteed. However, we strongly recommend them based on past performance and based on the yield, what we expect to have. So we'll tell you what the past performance is, and the yield is now what we expect over the next year, right? Again, I want to be very clear. On any of them, it's not guaranteed. In the investment world, nothing is guaranteed. Mainly maybe like a CD, yeah. And again, there is still some tiny risk to that, but that's like the most minimal risk, right, when it comes to investments. And again, we have different levels. So if you said to me, Kathy, boy, I really don't want nobody touch my money and and I ascertain based on the risk profile of the questions that we got. I ascertain based on the conversation that we're having. So I do the presentation, but I have one-on-ones with all clients, right? So then I can base, because what's right for you might not be right for him, right? It's totally, we do the portfolios to each person, right? So, again, I wanted to just highlight diversification and the power of diversification, because a real estate fund is a great option. Would I want you to put all your money in it? Absolutely not. I would be an awful advisor if I told you to do that. And some clients say, boy, Kathy, I have other stuff at elsewhere. And I'm saying to them, that's fine. Be totally honest with me of what you have there so that we can ensure that you're not overly exposed to one asset, right? It's so very important. So you have all right to, if you want to, put all your money in the real estate fund, but I would not recommend it. And even though it's a moderate investment, I still wouldn't recommend you putting all your money in like the money market fund, which is our most conservative. Why? Because again, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. All right. The next question I think was Bitcoin. Right. So as of right now, NCB Capital Markets does not offer any investments that have any underlying Bitcoin. But we're growing, so who's to say what will happen in the next year? And as things and times adjust and the world adjusts, we adjust as well. But as of right now, there's nothing right now with that. I think the laws in Jamaica are kind of a little shaky on that. And so we're still governed by BOJ and governed by the FSC. So there's not much that we can do without being guided, right? So maybe in years to come, hopefully. And then, okay, so with the real estate fund now, it's all NCBFG as of right now on the portfolio. And we can offer you the fact sheet that we can send to you via email, right? That shows you what the properties that we have under the fund, how does it make money, rental income, and valuations, right? So that's one of the big factors, valuations and rental income. As of right now, we know we haven't had a pop in the real estate markets in Jamaica. Knock on everything, wood, metal, everything. But even so, all of the products as of right now is our commercial properties under it. So, the commercial property is a big want and need. It's in high demand. So that's something that can give you a little bit of comfort in that as well. That was it. Okay. So I know earlier I asked you if anybody had any investments accounts. I want to know if anyone here has any NCB accounts. Anybody have an NCB account? Everybody? I love that. All right. Well, here's the thing. So if you were interested in opening an investment account with NCB Capital Markets, you can do it online if you have online access. It's 1-2. Or we do have documents here as well. If you want to start the process today, we can do that as well. So it's really and truly up to you. We're here for a little bit after if you have any questions that you want to ask me one-on-one. So I'm here. All right. Thank you for your time.
Wow. I told you, we're here to educate you on Beats of Reggae Workshop 2026. And Miss Kathy Lee Ramsey really gave it to us. Solid, great wealth management information and guidance. We really thank her, I know we gave her a round of applause, but can we give her another round of applause? Yes, yes, yes. We really thank her. And now we will be setting up for our next session. And we have 2 more sessions. So the one that's coming up is going to talk about all our different piano rhythms in reggae music. And then the last section is going to talk about publishing, licensing, and administration. So look out. Sunko. Yes, 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 my people. Yes. This is Beats of Reggae Workshop 2026. And we now have with us one of the greatest reggae pioneering keyboardists. And his name is Lloyd Obia Denton. He's going to talk with us today and show some great little tips how to play these things in called reggae and Jamaican music. Sit back and relax.
Yeah, man. Well, originally the scatting, want to start from there, so that was real like the whole thing. Like what I say, it back and come down the line. So these guys are more up tempo thing and thing. So let's start up. Prince, can you just give me a thing? And the piano man, but sometimes now the organ. Meanwhile, the piano man him. Go on, there. Go on. Me coming. That's how the organ would have play for match, with the piano and thing. So after that, now, it go down and get slower to like a rock steady thing. So, one of them beat them. I play the same move, bro. The organ thing now is that kind of little. We just play all the time, the same movement, same chord progression, so we don't really differ on them things. Then after a while now, the reggae thing come in. Well, a whole man have the claim, I don't know who originally, you don't know song, that is politics. I mean, I really want to go into the politics of that, but reggae now, like, one and two, one and this bang is coming on the half beat, because reggae is in 4/4 time. 4 meaning 4 beats to the bar is 4 crotchets to the bar. But like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, and that is where the bang come in on the and. 1. 1 and 4 and 5. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and sometimes a man will put pam 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 nice it up a little spice. Kind of thing you have a little spice. Depends on the man vibes and feel vibes. Sometimes even we hear certain record we can know who is playing, because we man have an identical style or a certain pattern we use. I know say a song that playing or a Prince that playing or whatever the style. Because each person have an impersonal style we use. Now the shuffle no it's like say for example same 4/4, but the shuffle now is like same So the left hand rest the left hand ta 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 rest ta 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 ta. So it will be rest 3 semiquavers, rest 3 semiquavers, rest 3 semiquavers. So the first one would be the left pop, and the next one would be right. Ta 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 ta. Is it left right left, left right left, left right left. But now the youth them come like if you ask, for example, me playing. This is my left hand, like me one man playing. The left hand is playing. But the youth them now come with a different style. I mean, so from time I work, you have to adapt. Them use, like, alright, so for example, me playing this. I have to play a lead now. Me just, the piano would gone. So the shuffle would be playing. But the youth them now, them come with, them reverse it. In other words, the right hand, the right hand will be playing. Then them change it round, them change it round now. Pop. Them change, so it all depends on who's playing. If you have a next keyboard player playing, but sometimes if it's you alone, sometimes you prefer hold the bang and you're playing a melody. Or if you have a next keyboard, you know, Africa, you can just play. Any little thing, you know, in between also. So it all depends on if you have a next piano man playing, a next keyboard man playing, and what he's playing, if he's playing the organ or the piano. Then you can differentiate and you can know what you want to play. Who's playing lead. Sometimes them have one man just playing lead alone, lead playing, and then you just concentrate on the bang and the piano. It all varies. Sometimes the two man play lead, when at whatever time film lead to come or whatever. It all depends on how the thing is structured, how them structure them thing, you know. But the basic of those all the reggae beat, you know, reggae is on the half beat. 1 and bang, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Reggae is always 4/4. And the organ is wa ah 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 ah. You know, so basically it can write out. Scratch it, rest, scratch it, rest, scratch it, rest. Quavers, sorry. Rest, quavers, rest, quavers, reverse, and then semi-quaver, semi-quavers, 3 semi-quavers, rest, semi-quaver, rest, 3 semi-quaver. Basically, guys are always in 4/4. But you know, sometimes you can do some crazy things. Cause this man, you know him father. Him father is the Abyssinians. We play the anthem Sata. But sometimes reggae is in 4/4. Sometimes he play all in 3/4. But that is just me. He's a madman. So you can. But it's always in 4/4. Reggae. Yeah, but sometimes I just try, me just find my own. You understand what I say? But it's basically 4/4 the thing say. Cause it come from like a swing thing, you know. From when the jazz thing, ga, 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 and then you never have a line like a do is when they move from that now. A man start make the notes them bidi. But in reggae now when you play like for all a certain vibe, you know. Well, it's my personal, you know, play too much notes for the reggae cause, you know, a less note you can be young because you have to sit down with the bass man. You have to sit down with the drum and bass. Because if the drum and bass not connect, me find it hard to find a space to put my pen. It may sound because I like it a bang, bang, but it's not really that. When him start, like say we in a studio, when him start, me have to listen to where him catch there and me find the spot. You have a certain spot.
Mr. Son?
You know that spot there? Yeah, that spot. Very, very important. So sometimes you play and you have to listen to the drum and the drummer have to listen to the bass. Once you connect, me find it's easy for us to slide in that spot.
Yeah.
And lock with the rhythm.
Yeah,
Once the
spot,
rhythm lock, everything is everything. So that is very, very important. And speed, tempo is very important because sometimes even the man them are play the sound, them start play the thing them faster than the average thing.
Push up the
They
speed.
push up the speed. For suit maybe them have a dancer through them put the same tempo within a dancer. But remember this, you know, speed determine what it's tune, what tune it is then. For example, for example, I'm playing this. Like say I play say something like Baf. Just play doof. Baf. like say this is a soul, just like just say. And that's a soul. Bring it up now. Doom, doom, pop, doom, doom. Disco now, disco the same. Doom, da. And the same thing, you know, but the tempo change it. You understand? The tempo change it, so it gone disco, although I play the same progression. So the tempo is very important. It can determine the genre where I play. So you have to watch it. You can't go so much with the tempo, but you have to have a limit or a red line where, you know, to cross. If you cross it, it gone in a different. Because calypso then have a faster tempo. So if you play something and it go up on certain thing, it change the whole thing. So tempo is very, very important. And in drum and bass, you lock so the rhythm can find the spot, that catch, where you play, you know, if you not have that. Basically. Well, basically that, you know. The whole vibes. I'm not really good at talking, you know.
Yes, wasn't that intriguing? What a wondrous session. And you know, we're going to have just 2 questions for him. We asked 2 people from the audience to give him his questions. Mr. Lloyd Obiadenton, wondrous, wondrous educator. All right, here we go, people. 2 questions.
Good afternoon, Mr. Obiang. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Peter Evans. My question is on the piano, the strumming, like in the foreign or the American Western music then. They hold one note in the left hand or the root note of the chord. In the reggae, do they do the same thing or they hold the full chord in the left hand? Same way. In the strumming.
Oh, we call it voicing. But in the strum, like a soul tune is voicing. Like you can remember just for example, I'm gonna move out a different car. That is, so my left hand would be holding all these, but left hand, you don't, the bassman already there. The bassman is already there playing the root note or whatever in the reggae. So you don't really need, you know, unless you alone a player. Unless it's you alone playing. But if it's not you alone, the bassman is already there. Because drum and bass. Because that reggae is actually like drum and bass mainly. So we just get in the catch and playing in between.
The tapping.
Not necessarily. You have to go out in the middle. You place your bang. So you get a balance thing. If you go down here, so it's like you're muddy, you get too muddy and you have a clash with the bassman. And if you go up here, so it sounds like honky tonk, so you have to have a balance. Because up here, so it's like when you. So you understand? So it's just basically your hand. This is voicing. I understand what you're talking. We don't do that in
Everything the same chord.
yes, same, yeah.
Same chord.
But something you can't do like a thing, you can't hold like a C, you can't hold a ear mind if you want. It all depends.
Okay.
Over experience, you can't know.
But
For
fit.
Yeah, where you can you listen with the bassman playing and then you lock with the bassman. I hope I answer.
Thank you. Yes, man. Very much.
And the last question.
Yes, sir, Obia. My name is Jay Presta. I'm a dancehall artist and an audio engineer. I would like to know, how can an artist use a keyboard to train and improve their vocals even without formal training on the instrument? Also, how do they use it as a tool to write stronger, more structured songs?
If you want verse and sing, because more time a DJ we a DJ and him in a different key. Him a DJ but the key is different. So the first thing you have to try your ears, listen, and you can make some beats. Da 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 da
1, 3, 5, back to the tonic. Da da da, and that is a minor. You get them vocal kind of practice there. Cause some man read it's two different things. The third flatting. So once it and da 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 da, and you go up da da and know where, know which you just a scale, you have to learn because it's not like you're going to okay, just one octave. Ah da 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 da. Make sure what you're playing, the note is what you're hearing as the same thing you're playing. But I don't know if you know about scales. Scales and your arpeggios, you're not going no further than that if it's voice training you want. But know the difference between da 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 da, major between a major and a minor. So you understand that's very important. So you can flatten a note. Because most singers, if you hear the blues them, they say that not you daddy. The blues is like blues is flattening the third. So you have to know the difference of the notes. But for you can just da da da, just a basic one octave scale and listen. Everything of your ears, even if me a play a piece, and my ears, me have to still listen, you know. Because sometimes, if me my sight read something, and me play a note, and me say, that not sound right to me, and me look, but it never right, it was some. So, your ears, very important, even when you anything, your ears can determine. Sometimes you play something, and it not sound right, you look back on the piece, outside of reggae this matter, you look back to make sure, say, is that note is right, but your ears, very, very important. If you don't have ears, your ears very important. So basically, voicing is just the scale, basic da 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 da. It can just hold it da 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 da. Yeah, and go up or whatever, and you do da 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 da. Man, not sing it through me, but we just give you an idea. Yeah, what you can your scale. Once you have that man and you're the key, can you ever hear some a thing and it called there son him a DJ and him not really aware. Him not really you have to be aware. Cause any man can make a mistake, you know. Me can make mistake, no one not perfect, but you feel aware say something not right. And then you can check back to see what is wrong or whatever. You know, just that DJ blind and thing. Once you have that, because what passing a start out without and you go do voice training and get wicked. Yeah, man. What for when we start, we soon a Rhythm Kings band, we're back all 40 of the artists a night. And them days, and none of them don't come rehearsal. So we have to just know rhythm and know. Some of them just come and start singing. You have to know. In them time, you have to know all the soul tune them. Even when you study it, them people underrate dancer, but when you study the songs, you study it in A, but the man come and start singing in a G flat. And you have to know your transposition from that time to know. So your skills like your voice training. Da 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 da. You can do da da da. You can go up and you can work da 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 da. That is arpeggio. Da 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 da. Yeah, for that is the third. Da 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 da. The third one is flattened. So you have to know all these things. If you can differentiate when a man go flat, as when a man is singing da 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 da, it flatten it. So you have to know differentiate. That will make you very powerful as a DJ. So you can all sing G at the same time, you know. So it help you. But your ears, your scale. Everything come from the scale, you know. Even the arpeggio 1, 3, and 5 come from the scale. 1, 4, and 5, the primary chord. All chords come from them. That is why, man, I say minor. All of them is the 1, 4, 5. Because everything come from that. The C is A minor, E minor, the F is D minor. It's just this that's why they call it a dominant chord. 5 because a diminished, half diminished, which is dominant. That's why they call it the dominant. In the classical way, they call it when them say Ionian, that the jazz way Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Mixolydian, Lydian, Aeolian, Locrian and thing. But in the tonic, supertonic, median, that are the classical side. Tonic, supertonic, medians, don't mean dominant, leading note and time, whatever. The classical way. But we're more into the jazz world more. But once you know, once you have that come from a theoretical thing. But a little theory can help you for know certain things. You don't have to vast out what me say and all them Duran thing. But for me, I think your ears is very, very important. And that determines where, because you can be tone deaf. So very, very important. Your ears, you can determine, you can hear if you sing, you can know so that's not right. And you can then correct yourself. Because nobody not perfect, you know. All me make mistake too, so the thing said. But once you scale and your arpeggios and you can sing and know so you're in a C or you're in a this key, that thing must right hear something, you know, say da. If you go so da, you can do them randomly to make sure so you're up on that key. So you know if you even use it uniformly, because you're a program for know it chromatically or tone wise up the scale. So do it randomly after you reach a stage, you can do it randomly. Da, da. Forget the note, the right note, them and them thing them, basically. But your ears, you know, and thing. And you know basic 1, 2, 3, 4. Up and learn them. So you have a little theory book and as a guidance to get certain things. Yeah, man, bless it. That's what the thing said.
Wow. One more applause for Mr. Lloyd Obia Denton. I'm telling you, he really sang and he played those things. And you know, the guitarists do the same thing too, right? Them have to follow and do just like the keyboardists them. So I hope everybody learned something there, guitarists and keyboardists. Follow Mr. Lloyd Obia Denton's teaching, all right? So we thank him very much. And now we have yours truly, Joy Fairclough. So now I am going to introduce to you concepts of publishing. Publishing 101 is like what you get in college, but I'm going to just give a few pointers. First thing is that we are going to talk about how you're going to take that distributed work, release it so that persons can hear it, but then you have to do what? License it with persons who are interested to use it in a trading negotiation way. All right? So let's say, for instance, I wrote a piece of music. And when I wrote it, I wrote the score sheet and I also went and recorded it. After copyright registering the work, which you must do after you first come up with the idea. So we copyright register the work. Then went to the studio, as we said. Everybody has their parts. We have to now write down each part on a sheet of paper, whether the words or the harmony or the bass part or the drum part. We have to write it down. Who did what? What is their real legal name? What date and time this happened? All these things have to be documented and registered. When we do all of that, we then agree and negotiate together on what is the share split for each person. Writers have their shares, 50, to the publishers, 50 matching, and the writers can be split. When we do that, we also have what we call the composers who do the accompaniment on the other 50, and their publishers match that 50. So what we want to do now is think that when we get these shares, We don't just have them up in the air. We have the shares, but we have to document it. And we have to sign that we agree to these shares and how they're apportioned out. After we do that, then we have to take that share split sheet, get it to the collective management organization. The collective management organization has to have that share split sheet information, which is now put in to their computers as data entered for your song. So if you don't get those information, date, time, place, and who the real legal names of the people and so on your share split sheet, if you don't get those information properly written out and the length of the song and the ISRC code, now you get it from the CMO when you ask them for it. If you don't get all of that to the CMO and get them to put it into their computer data entry portal, you'll find that you will be at sea for claiming on your work. How are you going to claim on your work if these information are missing? It's hardly likely that you'll be able to claim properly. So we call it the matching process at the collective management organization. Like in Jamaica, we have JCAP. That's the Writers Collective Management Organization. And they have to spend a lot of time matching these works that people say they wrote. Guess what? If the person handed in the data and missed the middle name of the person, and then they found that they had 10 John Browns and no middle name, oh my gosh, they have to hold back. They can't pay nothing on that. Why? No royalties will come? Because there's a missing link. The matching can't go on right. The middle name of the person for the song is missing. The writer's middle name is missing. So what we have to do is be very accurate with the data that you're entering. First on the copyright registration, then the share split sheets, and then now you enter it again into the collective management organization portal, right? So after that, there's a song going out playing on the air. But guess what? The distributor needs that same information too. The distributor, just like the sound engineer inside the studio, had to get all those share split information and put that with the cue sheet and, for the video and so on. When it goes out on the road through the distributor, it can't go out before all the same information is put inside of the distributor's portal. Because these days, distributors, you have to go online and write up their stuff. Another data entry situation. So if you don't have all of that information to put in there, you get stuck and the thing cannot be put out. They can't release it because you don't have the contributors properly written out. You don't have their middle name, their first name, their last name. Simple as it sounds. They ask you for it. So if you're missing something, what's going to happen? It's going to get stuck in the distribution process. It can't go out, right? So persons have to be very meticulous. Spend the time to write up the proper information about the writers, the performers, the accompanists, the arrangers, even the persons who contribute at studio to the words being arranged and edited properly, people who are lyricists, who write the melody. We need to get everything accurate. Also, the name of the studio, where you put it on their address. Who is the contact person as the executive producer? Who is that person? They get their royalty too, they have their own 100%. So what is their name? You're just going to put it out under a label name and no executive producer name. No, it can't go so. So what you have to do is make sure you have the right name of the person, not just a stage name. You know how much people have them name Penny or IT, and then when them go now and they try to find who is IT or Penny with that song. How much people have that name? They don't know is who. They can't match it at the CMO, the Collective Management Organization. So we have a problem. The money is stuck again. So here what? Even at the distribution level, that the distributor needs you to have the right information. So carry all of the things them that you wrote at copyright registration at the Jaipur, Jamaica Intellectual Property Office. Carry all of what you did in the studio with the sound engineer with the share split sheets. Have all of that collated up. Make sure you know exactly what is what and who to match which name with. And then you put those again now in where? The distributor's portal. You get that in there. Now, when you get that information, it also has to be on the artwork. Artwork needs a proper label name, needs a code, your library code, and it needs the name of the artist. Yeah? It needs the right spelling. Because that's another thing, people not spelling the things properly. So the artwork has to be accurate, or else they're going to keep sending it back and say it's not ready for release. Remember, publishing means you let it out, you release it, you get it out there, and you negotiate with it. Well, you're going to do that if you have missing things in there. It doesn't work. So what we need everybody to do is start writing down the contributors' information. Make it very accurate. You're lacking in accuracy, then go hire somebody to do it who is accurate as an administrator. You can't get around it. Just can't get around it. All right. So the next last part of what I'm talking about, you notice I said administrator helps you with the data entry thing them, right? And you see I said publishing, you're releasing it, right? And then we say what? You can copyright register it. And we say put in the data properly. But you can license it. When you give it to the distributor, you are actually licensing it. Did you know that? So when you put it there, you read your terms of service, make sure the contract is good. Meaning, check your lawyer. Check the lawyer and even the administrators at the collective management organization people. You can also ask them to help you to figure out these contracts. So get those things sorted out, because to release the work, you don't want to end up saying, oh, me never know says that me signed to. Did you know that by just ticking on a website, you're also clicking and ticking and signing? Did you know? So you have to be careful. You can't just tick, click, and sign. You got to do what? Get the administrative persons, the lawyers involved, the collective management organization people involved to sort out the contracts and the terms of services. All right. Now, after all of that gone out, you have one back-end process more, which is that as people are hearing it, they like it, and somebody wants to redo your song or wants to use a part of your song. So that's the next part of the licensing. And you have to know how to negotiate that. The whole heap of negotiation in this business, So you have to know to do that. So every time you get out there and the song playing on the stations and whatever, you have to know that somebody might call you and you join your mechanical licensing collective in US, or you join Jacob and say, I want you to collect my mechanicals for me, and you write that down in a paper and make sure it's signed and you hand it in to them. Because guess what? You want to have on these licenses that people come to you and negotiate. You want to have on there the right information so that you can get a proper license fee. So you not only get royalties, you get also what? License fees. All right. So generally, in a nutshell, that's how we do publishing. A lot of negotiations at the end. After you get it marketed, people start to come to you and you negotiate wholly for them to use your stuff. But before that, you must do what? Paperwork, 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 paperwork. All right. That's my presentation. Thanks. All right. Any questions?
Right. So Diana here. What happens when you license like your song, you send it to one of these distribution services, without registering it or copywriting it?
Okay, so you have released your work and you don't know what has happened to the contractual obligations because you didn't copyright register it, and you don't know what's happening. No, okay, guess what? You have to get a lawyer. That's the plain truth. All discussions stop right there, so you're going straight to a lawyer. That's the answer to your question. Okay.
Oh, Errol Bean 3 Music. What's the difference between Jams and JCAP and JIPO in terms of registration for the new people, especially?
All right, people. So our different organizations in Jamaica are JIPO, Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, which is found on the Jampro building, Braemar and Trafalgar Road intersection corner. And they deal with all of your trademarks, your different patents and designs, all your different geographical designations, all these things that protect your brand name and your heritage assets. So you want to go to them to do also your what? Copyright registration. You want to protect your work. So they do that too at that place. So the first step is JIPO, copyright registration and brand protection. Okay? Of course, you must also register your business at the Companies Office of Jamaica, because that way you have a legitimate business and you can account for everything properly. Then you have Jacob. Jacob, as we mentioned in the previous part of this recording, deals with the writing and publishing of your work. So anytime you want to get the data entered to register the work, not the copyright registration now, this is the entry of the work that is released, entry of information about that work. You get to Jacob, join them with 3 works. As a writer, you go and join them and get your information there. Then Jams deals with your neighboring rights, meaning the executive producers and performers go to Jams, right? When you go there, you carry your sound recording copies, just like you would have had to send your copies to JIPO and your copies to Jacob for them to put it in the logs to say this is associated with your name. So at Jams, you also get that sound recording there and you join as a member. They have 10 recordings for performers you carry 10 of them to join. That's their requirement. And you carry 3 for the executive producers to join. So guess what? Run to these places. Get joining. All right? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It was a great time. Thanks so much.